Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's Action Jack Daly, a mild-mannered professional speaker by day, a fun-loving party animal by night. But on the weekends, wow.
All right, so I'm no nutcase, although I have a few friends that might suggest otherwise. But I am a guy that loves to go after it in a big way, whether it's business or whether it's outside of my business, my personal life. And I'm gonna quote Thoreau here. I hope to suck the marrow out of life. And so my life is absolutely filled with stuff that is so exciting, so thrilling, and I push the envelope in every way. And I thought that, you know, so many of you and so many of my associates see my business side, but they don't see Jack in the fun side of life. And so I thought I'd open it up. Hey, I want you to know I really don't think I'm a wacky guy. I just have a plan. And the plan is, hey, make sure along the way when you're having so much fun doing all the things you do in your business that you're doing stuff outside of business. It's called balance. And so here's the fun stuff. I've got a passion for golf. And I think I got it because I was first out there as a caddy, 13 years old. And then what I found is that, well, I got married later on in life and children, and I stuck the golf clubs in the mothballs for a good 20 years and then got them out in my later years of life and got into the game big time. And then decided, all right, let's set a goal because you're all about goals, Jack. So I decided that I wanted to play the top 100 golf courses in the United States, rated by Golf Magazine. I gave myself 10 years to do it, and it is absolutely a blast. I meet so many people in life, and I end up getting on golf courses that I never would have gotten on if I hadn't shouted out from the rooftops, let's go play the top 100 golf courses in the United States. And I gave myself 10 years to do it, and I'm well into the list, having 76 under my belt. That's the golf side of me. Let's talk about the running side of me. In 1992, I ran my first marathon. Now, I got to tell you, 1985, I arrived in Southern California, and I was a lot heavier than I am today. And, well, running probably would have meant from running from my rec room over to the refrigerator. And and now I find myself in Southern California. It's 1986, and you know, the weather's so spectacular out here that we don't get to hide it as well under clothes as you do in the East. So I decided to take on this 5K, and then I graduated to a 10K, and then I found myself running a 10-miler, and a 10-miler is only 3 miles shy of a half marathon. So I took one of those on, and then I thought, well, you've never done anything half in your life, so take on a marathon. So I ran a marathon for the first time in 1992. And I didn't make my goal. My goal was to run it under 4 hours. I ended up contracting some blisters on my feet and missed my goal by about 10 minutes. And so 3 months later, in San Diego, I put a marathon down under 4 hours and felt really satisfied with that. And then I didn't think I would do a bunch, but I heard this once, and that was you're either running one. But if you do more than one, then you're going to do more than 5. And so I ran a couple more, and I became the more than 5 guy. In fact, in 2004, I decided to run a marathon in all 50 states. And in 2007, April 16th, coming up here, I will be running the Boston Marathon, the 111th consecutive running of the Boston Marathon. I started my quest. I gave myself 12 years to complete it. Started in 2004. I think I have 19 under my belt now. And I got to tell you, what a blast. People all are energized. I've run the Chicago Marathon with about 44,000 people in it. I've run New York Marathon. I've run the Washington, D.C. Marine Corps Marathon. And the people on the sidelines and the people in the races and seeing all the different parts of our country in a different context than I would as a business guy. Well, It's wacky, it's crazy, it's all kinds of stuff, but I'll tell you what, I love it to death. And you know what? Here's the trifecta of my life these days. To speak in a certain city on a Friday or a Monday. Let's pick a Friday. I'll speak there on a Friday. And then play a top 100 golf course on Saturday and then run the marathon on Sunday. That's the trifecta of Jack Daly's life outside of the business world. Well, then I found myself have the great opportunity to share my business building ideas in the land of down under in Australia and New Zealand recently. And it was our first trip down there. And if you're going to go to New Zealand, I can't imagine not doing the world's first bungee jump, because that's where it was. And so not only did I take opportunity to do the world's first bungee jump in New Zealand, but they also have the world's largest, which entails an 8.5 second free fall before you're snagged on the bungee. And so that's now under my belt. And I can remember addressing my first audience in New Zealand. And I said, of course, knowing that I was going to speak to all of you CEOs here in New Zealand, I wanted to be sure that I earned my stripes and went down there and got my bungee jump out of the way, because you all do it. And then they looked and went, no, we don't do this. And so, oh well, let's go on to the next deal. So our son Adam, for his 21st birthday, I wanted to do something special, and it's often been said, why would anyone in their mind jump out of a perfectly good airplane? But that was my gift to Adam, and I said I wouldn't do it unless he did it with me, and so we went over to Las Vegas, and we strapped on our parachutes, and we took the plane up 10,000 feet. Mom stayed at home and just wanted to make sure that we called when we were down safely, but it's something that sure beats blowing out 21 candles on a cake as far as memories go between Adam and I. That was about as exhilarating as it got until I found this thing called Air Combat USA. Imagine this, taking an airplane up 5,000 to 6,000 feet above sea level, going up there with a buddy in another plane. And I've got a pilot sitting behind me. He has a pilot sitting behind him. We're in a two-seater plane, and we go up and have 6 dogfights with one another, where we're actually flying the plane and trying to shoot the other guy out of the sky with absolutely no flying experience. One of the most thrilling experiences I've ever had. And I keep trying to find ways to push the envelope to say, let's go have some fun and do some outrageous stuff, because you do want to suck the marrow out of life. And so on my to-do list now is a full Ironman. That's 140.6 miles in total. A 2.4-mile ocean swim, or swim in a lake, or whatever the body of water is, wherever your Ironman is being conducted. I was thinking about Hawaii when I spoke about the ocean. And then a 112-mile bike, followed by a full marathon, 26.2-mile run. All with time cutoffs and the like. I've now gotten several Olympic triathlons under my belt. I've also done a couple half Ironmans, and actually I'm bearing down and looking at the UK for my first Ironman. And my guess is once I'm done one, there will be more to come. So I don't know what holds out on the list of things that are exciting and outside of the business world for me, but I do know this. Without question, there's more to come, and I hope that you enjoy sharing a few of these things with me, and maybe I'm stimulating a little bit of interest on you to take your personal life and making it all that it can be.